good. And if I need to get that car out, bring that car out, when would be the earliest I could get it out there?
Hey, I'm Shauna, and this is Good News Only, the show where we celebrate the stories that uplift, inspire, and bring us all together every weekday at 10:30 a.m. We are recapping the good news only, the feel-good headlines, the community and the locals wins that bring a little more light to your day. And I want to hear from you too. So, if something good is happening in your world, a personal victory, a community success, a birthday, or just something that made you smile, send me an email to news25 at week.com. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. So last week, we had some technical difficulties due to the storm, but I shared a story with you that is just a remarkable recovery story that's reminding people to listen to their bodies, even when it comes to unusual signs or symptoms. And I would like to share that story with you again today where you can actually see it. So, Patrice Sample is the co-owner of Sample and Mills Bakery. So she thought she was simply tired and needed to have a seat while she was baking with her co-baker. So she actually had a long day, a busy, great day, according to her, that included a promotion. And so she got to her baking partner and they started doing some baking. She felt a little tired. She thought she needed to sit down. She sat down and dozed off to sleep. And when she woke up, she started to doze again. But Patrice says that she heard a voice say to her, if you go back to sleep, you won't wake up. Can you imagine that? So she didn't go back to sleep. She and her co baker stepped into action and called for help. I'm going to show you some video. And some of it might be a little hard to see, but it's necessary. Look at Patrice there. Isn't she beautiful? Just lovely. So they called for help and went to the doctor. And so while she was there, they discovered she was having a heart attack. Isn't that crazy? Like you just think you're tired, and it's so much deeper. She says that she felt no chest pain and experienced very few traditional signs and symptoms. And so on November 11th, surgeons performed a bypass surgery using a vein taken from her leg. And I'm sure you saw that, those big bruises all the way down her leg. That's what that's from. So by November 18th, she had completed aftercare and cardiac rehabilitation, if you see there. She had graduated by the 18th. Now, again, the 11th of November, she has the surgery. The 18th, she has graduated the aftercare and cardiac rehabilitation. Throughout her recovery, Sample credits her mother, Ella Stacy, for providing consistent support and encouragement. She says that her mom never left the room. Only time she ever left that room was because she was forced to. And even then, she went to the waiting room to wait for the opportunity to get back into her daughter's room. So you can see from pictures, her family was very supportive. I think one of the pictures has her, when we get past, this is her bakery. This is the stuff that she makes. And I wanted to include that because I thought it was very significant. Anybody who can make it through something like this, follow their instincts, when something is not right, listen to that voice within to save her own life. That's a blessed person. Those are blessed hands. So if you are interested, I think her bakery would be one to hit up. But today, Sample continues operating her bakery, working full time for a local nonprofit organization. And she also has 10. Look, did you see that bruise there from that surgery? Isn't that crazy? But so she has self published 10 books. Can you imagine 10 books self published? This is a woman who has lots and lots of life to live, and I'm so glad that she was blessed with the opportunity to stay here and continue the work that she is doing. We all have a purpose, and hers was just not fulfilled yet. So she's still with us. But this is, again, a remarkable recovery story and a reminder to all of us not to ignore the simple, unusual signs and symptoms. It's not always a huge event. When you think of heart attack, you think of something, some big reaction, some big pain in the chest where somebody falls over. And this was just not the case. So I think this is a shining example again of where you need to listen to your body and listen to that voice on the inside that said, hey, if you go back to sleep, get up, ma'am, get up. If you go back to sleep, this will be the end. That's exactly what she did. And I think this is just a call to all of us to listen to our bodies and follow our instincts. Congratulations, Miss Patrice. We'll have more good news only after the break. Welcome back to more Good News Only. So listen, Patrice's story is just an example of the stories that every single day I ask you for. So if you are someone who has an extraordinary, or it doesn't have to be extraordinary. You don't. Some of us don't think that our stories are extraordinary, but I can guarantee you, they are. Everybody has a story, and if you have one, share it. Something has happened. Something good has happened to you. You've overcome a challenge. You have graduated from something. You've good news. It's your birthday. Whatever it is, if it's good, we want to know about it. Send it to me, news25wek.com, so I can share it with everybody on the show. You never ever know how it might help someone listening. So Patricia's story, like I said, is an example of that. Wonderful, wonderful stories that we love to hear. So In more good news, there is a 99-year-old who is receiving an honorary high school degree. So this again is one of those situations where we want to celebrate. Sorry for the noise. Okay, you ready? It's busy. Okay, I think we're in the clear. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. All right, so this lady, she's beautiful. She is proving that age is nothing but a number, and she is a Scottsdale resident. Her name is May Difel. She's 99, and she's approaching her 100th birthday. She's officially received an honorary high school diploma. Difel left school as a teenager after her mother pulled her out because they needed help supporting the family during difficult times. She says not having a high school diploma remained one of the few unfinished goals in her otherwise remarkable life. As a business owner, wife, mother, and a grandmother, the diploma was awarded during a Scottsdale School Board meeting where Difel was welcomed as an honorary member of the high school class of 2026. Family members, including her daughter April Applegate, joined her for the emotional ceremony. Now, Difel shared her advice for a long life. She says, exercise regularly, eat balanced meals, and enjoy life's treats in moderation. After decades of waiting, she has now proudly finished and earned her high school diploma. She always wanted this, and so she got it. Look at that. Difel celebrated the achievement with her trademark sense of humor, saying she may not make it to class reunions, but she'll certainly toast the occasion. Congratulations, Mrs. Difel. Can you imagine? Like, sometimes you never ever know the things that are important to people. She's had this long, I mean, she's made it to 99 years old. She's had this long life, long, full life. She was a business owner and by many standards, successful. She's had children. She became a grandmother. She's lived a long, full life. And she didn't want to leave this earth without having her high school diploma. That was a real goal for her. She says all of her friends had high school diplomas. And she was the only one out of her group that didn't, and it was important to her. And she accomplished that goal. It's never, ever too late. You're never too old to accomplish what it is you seek to accomplish. So congratulations to her. I'm glad she was able to get that done. We'll have more good news only after the break. Sorry about that. Can you hear me? Welcome back to Good News Only. So our next story is about a community that has come together for Goat Island. Doesn't that sound interesting? I would like to show you the video from this story. This is sweet. So this is just from one dream fulfilled to one community's tradition that's being preserved. Neighbors in Colorado are making sure a beloved local landmark continues to thrive. So Bob never expected to become the caretaker of Grand Lake's famous Goat Island when he moved across the water years ago. The island has been a cherished attraction for generations, with residents recalling childhood visits to see the goats. When the island's final two goats died of old age, community members quickly voiced their desire to bring the tradition back. And so Bob and his wife stepped up, eventually growing the herd from two replacement goats to seven. Bob's grandson Titus now helps care for the animals nearly every day. The goats roam approximately 15 acres and have become a favorite attraction for boaters, families, and visitors. They are beautiful. Bob says he was surprised when visitors from across the community offered to help feed and care for the animals. Residents say the goats provide a free, family friendly experience that brings people together and strengthens local pride. It is busy back here today in the newsroom. So look at this big steam engine, gigantic. So America is celebrating its 250th birthday, and so America's history is also rolling down the tracks as one legendary locomotive attracts fans from across the country. Thousands gathered at the Bison Rail Yard in Sloan, New York, to see Union Pacific's Big Boy number 4014. The thing is big. The locomotive is recognized as the world's largest operating steam engine and one of the largest steam locomotives ever built. Gigantic. Rail enthusiasts traveled from nearby communities and from as far away as South Carolina to see the historic machine in person. I mean, I cannot imagine that thing coming toward me. It is huge. Jim Gangloff and his sons made the trip from nearby. And they said that the photos simply didn't capture the engine's enormous size. It was built in New York in 1941, and the locomotive played an important role in or during World War II by helping transport military supplies and equipment. It's big enough. Bill Stevens, editor of Trains magazine, says steam engines like Big Boy were essential to America's wartime success. The tour is part of Union Pacific's celebration of America's 250th anniversary, and Big Boy will continue traveling across New York before heading to Philadelphia ahead of 4th of July celebrations. And again, this is a story that is far away. Seems far away, right? From Peoria, from central Illinois. But it's one of those things that I always tell you or encourage you to do is travel. This is something cool. Look at those little boys out there. I have nephews who are crazy about automobiles, who are crazy about trains. These are things that these kids love, and you're adults who adore trains. And if you are one of them, or if you have one in your life, this is a great travel idea, a great vacation experience, I think, to have, especially a learning experience for kids. This is truly something that's a once in a lifetime event to attend, and a once in a lifetime piece of history to view, to say you did. So that's pretty cool. And more good news out of Atlanta now. This is a symphony that is celebrating America through music. So while one piece of American history rides the rails, another is making music on the concert stage. The Atlanta Symphony Orchestra is helping celebrate America's upcoming 250th with patriotic outdoor performances. Featured in the celebration is a rare 1726 Stradivarius violin, and this is an instrument that is actually older than the United States itself. Concert master David Cochran who has led the orchestra for 17 seasons, says performing American classics is especially meaningful. Audiences are hearing recognizable works, including An American in Paris, West Side Story, and The School for Scandal. Cochrane says music has the power to unite communities and create emotional connections across generations. The orchestra reports growing attendance and increasingly diverse audiences throughout the Atlanta area. Leaders say the performances reflect the city's growth and its cultural diversity. The celebration aims to reinforce the message that American music belongs to everyone who calls the country home. Well, congratulations and great job to them. Listen, I wanted to share something with you. I don't know if you would consider it good news or just news to know. Look at that. Now, you all know, if you're not new here, how I feel about animals, especially the ones that I think are scary. And this one is from ancient American history, okay? And it is prehistoric. This is really creepy. Scientists have uncovered evidence of a creature that could have come straight out of a movie. Researchers now believe fossils once thought to belong to a giant lobster actually belong to a massive ancient scorpion. That thing was, I wonder if it could move fast because I would need to run to get out the way. The creature lived approximately 415 million years ago. Scientists estimate it measured more than 3 feet long and possessed pincers nearly 6 inches in length. Like, that's scary. Scientists estimated that it measured more than 3 feet long. Again, fossil evidence suggests that the animal may have been amphibious, capable of living both in and out of water. That thing is big. Researchers believe it likely preyed on fish and other aquatic life. Newly discovered fossils helped scientists classify the species. The findings were recently published in the Journal of Paleontology, and some experts remain skeptical and say additional evidence may be needed before the creature is definitively classified as a scorpion. What else could it be? I mean, that thing is scary. So glad we live in modern times. We'll have more good news only after the break. Welcome back to Good News Only. Well, that is a wrap for me today. Now I want to hear from you. Please go to news25 at WEK.com and let me know what you thought about today's show. In the meantime, be sure to tune in to the Midday Newscast and look out on our Facebook page where I will have all of the information about Patricia's story and her bakery on our Facebook page, 25 News, Good News Only. I'm LaShawna Guy for 25 News. Have a wonderful day.